The saga continues. TikTok
Good.
stands firm as White House makes September deal deadline official. So, we're going to dive into this article and talk about what's the deal with TikTok, how should we respond, some things to unpack here on this hot topic that's coming up.
Welcome to the Bite Size Marketing Hack Podcast, where you get the confidence to hack your marketing 5 minutes at a time.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Rashawn,
And I'm Mark.
and today we're going to talk about, come on now, TikTok, but there's some bad news. Tens of millions of Americans woke up to the bad news that TikTok is about to be out again, and we constantly hear about it. So we're going to talk about this a little bit. I'm excited about it. Let's go, Mark.
Yeah, a part of this does feel like it's just like clickbait stuff, but it's interesting at the same time and worth us kind of visiting and keeping our finger on the pulse of it. And I say it feels like kind of like clickbait because I was talking with a guy that I disciple the other day, and he was mentioning the fact, he's like, I mean, that could be true for TikTok that it gets banned, but there's so many emulators available like on the Google Play Store that really, I mean, and then also they can't force you to remove it from your phone if you've already got it. So it could potentially be that it gets banned and it doesn't exist in the App Store on the Google Play, but then people use emulators. So in terms of like what this actually means for the use of TikTok, it could mean not that much, that it means that it like continues forward in some way, shape, or form. Now, what does this actually look like from the official US standpoint? So let's look at this article. It says on Thursday evening, and this has been about a week ago now, the White House issued an executive order signed by the president, which will effectively see TikTok banned in the US if it's not sold to a US owned business by September, basically. And so
Wow.
the idea here is like TikTok can continue in this country if it is sold, but if it continues to be Chinese owned, and this idea that this executive order highlights data collection threatening to allow the Chinese Communist Party to access Americans' personal proprietary information, potentially allowing China to track the locations of federal employees and contractors, build dossiers of personal information for blackmail, and conduct corporate espionage. So it sounds really intense and really big deal. And I know, like, I've heard different sides of this. I'm not sure what you've heard, but like one thought, and then I'd love to hear what you're thinking, Rashawn. But I know on TikTok, a lot of people are kind of making fun of this, and they're like talking about like, what is TikTok going to get? Just like a picture of me sitting in my living room in my underwear or whatever. It's like not even like that. Like there's nothing I got no secrets to share. And I can understand that perspective. I think like the US government perspective is once you get enough data on a mass scale from a lot of people, it begins to give you some data points to track where a generation is spending their money and begin to influence where they're spending their money and even influence how they think over time by what you promote, what you demote. So I can see why it can be threatening from the government level, and just having another country's hands in our data, period, is kind of a scary thought. So, what are your thoughts, dude?
You know what? There's just so much going on. I love that you spoke into that. One, if you rewind back, I remember TikTok, is basically a victim of its own success because you see it's grown at a crazy rate all throughout, late last year, the beginning of this year, and then the lockdown happened, which turbo boosts, sort of its growth. And then what ends up happening, bro, all this stuff goes down. Like now China becomes like this enemy of America, not really, but you know what I mean? In a way, it was just this sort of bad blood a little bit that was really churning because of the rumors, whether they're real or not. But fast forward, there's just so much happening. I don't think we're in a place to take a risk, especially where we are now. And I just think with all the investigations from everything from the Air Force, some of the leaders in the Air Force who sort of provoked this conversation, and then it trickled down to Trump, and Trump, is like, hey, we need to get this out of the picture. Like, it's a lot going on. So I just think yeah, it's time to one, we as Americans, either someone stands up and makes another TikTok. Come on now, or yeah, I think it's not worth the risk of having it exposed to other countries, or well, specifically China, having all our data exposed to them. So yeah, I'm totally down with whatever we about to do, but we need to get another TikTok out here in America. That's all I know.
So, yeah. So I know there's talks. Microsoft's looking at potentially purchasing TikTok, and there's like quoted valuation of around 30 billion, which who knows if it's even actually worth that much money. That is a lot of money for something that's this young and this controversial and all these different things. And so then there's other talk about the UK might buy it, but Trump has said if they buy it, he wants a chunk of that money because of all the efforts that the U.S. has put forth in getting the deal to this point. There's a lot of drama around it. And so I think at the end of the day, I mean, I see that just practically it's going to continue one way or the other. And whether that's in the U.S. through emulators and existing apps or it's bought out by a company, it's going to continue. Now, the question we all have to ask for ourselves as marketers ethically is like, can we, like this is what you're saying, can we support this? Can we continue to be invested into an app that could potentially be undermining national security in the U.S.? And China's just got a lot of dark things happening behind the scenes. And so, and their government is pretty corrupt, and they kind of leak the kind of information they want, and they hide the stuff they don't want. And so we don't even know all of what they're doing with that data. So that's the thing that we individually have got to process through. Even if we can access it through the app store or wherever, should we be doing it? And I think my answer is no. But some people are still going to be using it, and there's still going to be opportunity to market. But for me and my understanding morally of where it's at, I can't do it. But anything else you want to add?
I coincide with you. I just rather I know this may sound cliche. I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Yeah, I think I'm there too. Well, we went there. We talked TikTok. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on the platform and what you think's going to happen in September. What do you think? Are we going to, is this going to be bought by a U.S. company? Is it going to continue? Is it going to be tanked? Is somebody going to create another app that's similar? What do you think? We'd love to hear from you. Leave us a comment and take a minute to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. We'd love to hear from you, hear your thoughts, and always appreciate that review. So I think that's it for today. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. And visit us at bitesizemarketinghacks.com for more resources and episodes that will help you hack your marketing 5 minutes at a time.